Hello, welcome. Right, this is the Daily Loop, Transfer Bids, Boothway. Right, this is one... I don't know, maybe we sell this guy. He's obviously playing really good. But his contract's expiring at the end of this season. We're not going to extend it. That's one point. We're not going to extend it. So where are we in the season? We're at the 40. We're about basically around the halfway mark, with the 14th. So a bit over halfway. So basically, there's 300k wages. If we sell him, we would get 1.0 this March. So basically 1.059. So we get about 250 less, a little bit more, a little bit less than that, 250 and 300. So you're talking about, if we sell him now, we're basically somewhere between 550 and 600k better off than if we kept him for the rest of the season. So it's more than nothing. It's more than nothing. It's not huge. It's definitely not worth, let's say, compromising, possibly not getting promoted over, I would say. Certainly not worth that. It's obviously possible we get another bid for him before the end of the season, but, you know... But not, you can't rely on that. So we did get Schultz the other day. I think the question is, are we happy for Villar to start? He needs to get sub off every single game, because he's got 80 tackling now, and Boothway's he's got 82, so he's not a lot higher, to be honest. I think we could just start the other guy, but he would need to be subbed off every game. I think we're okay with it though. This could work. He's only got 11 endurance, that's the thing, so he'd need to get subbed off every single game. But and then Schultz would be playing every game. Which is okay, and yeah. Alright, so let's just look for now at the other. I guess we normally do the academy trials first, so let's do that. So aerial ability, endurance, it's only 16. Long shots doesn't really matter. Vision, it's only 16. 31 determination. Okay. It's only got 2 passing, this guy, so we'll just ignore. It's not as good as the DCs we got. He's got 57 tackling, but I think because his marking is only 10, he's got good positioning. We've got to wait ages for the speed. The aerial ability is not great. I think I'd rather just go with the other DCs we already got, basically. This guy, we won't find the tackling out until too late, so we'll just pass on him. This guy's only got 4 speed. It's not good enough. I think this guy's just not good enough either. Just not good enough shot stopping. Just not good enough passing, basically, for the type of football we want to play. So yeah, I think we're just going with what we've got still. Let's look at the auctions. No, the scouter players, sorry. Oh, a few keepers here today, so maybe we get... He's only 23, 76 shot stopping. He's got 68 ceiling. And 76 what What's training option has he got? Extra. We'd probably go. His handling's only 30. His parring's only 48. So we do talk about these three attributes: handling, parrying, and agility. You don't want all of them to be low. And kind of like, I don't know if the agility's high enough to compensate. Really, I think he's just not good enough compared to, say, this guy's just probably way better, basically. So, yeah, it's not good enough, basically. And then, this guy's got 80 shot stopping, though. And 67 parrying. Handling's not great. Agility not great, but he's a bit slow. But he is only 21. He's only got 63 ceiling, which isn't good. Got a decent training option though, with a contract extension, so he would be around for a bit. Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's close to being good enough, but just not quite. He's pretty close, I would say. I think it's just that lower ceiling is putting us off. Because he's 43.63. Because yeah, I mean, this guy's got the same ceiling, right? And this guy's even got a higher ceiling, but this guy's got the same ceiling, and he's 3 years older. So yeah, I think we're passing, but you don't often see a 21-year-old with 80 shot stopping. So alright. Just kind of got a pretty clear idea at this point about, like, this guy, for example. He's kind of alright or whatever, but just the passing isn't high enough. So we've talked to this, and again, so we can kind of, because we've got basically, like, we've pretty much handpicked all of our team at this point, so we can just fly through compared to what we could do before. Just looking for pretty yeah, so it's more the auctions list where we're going to find stuff at the moment. To be honest, if like we might pick the odd player up checking these every day, but more to get the, you know, it's more the auctions list where we pick stuff up. I think the issue just is we don't really have the money to compete. Like, we got enough to buy maybe one player off the list. I mean, we can check. I suppose we can check. I mean, this guy's pretty good. He's 28 though. And we're pretty much almost at the point now where we just about can't afford players any second now. Was it this guy? Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I don't know. It seems weird to sort of blow like 8 million and 1.2 million in wages on a 28-year-old so that we can sell our other 28-year-old that we're perfectly happy with in order to save like 500,000 in wages or whatever it is, 500,000 in wages and transfer funds. It seems a bit odd. Pretty much. So I'd say I think the thing with him is that like yeah, I don't know. I think I'm okay with our team, to be honest. Just like I don't feel like the need. I think I'd rather just guarantee that we get promoted or you know, come close to that. So I don't think I'm going to sell our player either. I mean, we're not going to sell. I don't think we'll sell Boothway. I think we'll just stick with it. We'll just lose him at the end of the season. We won't extend his contract, but I think we're just better off just making sure we get promoted. So outside of that, we have the training. So Cabo, it's an interesting one. He's typically coming off the bench a lot. Now he does start, obviously, in the case where he's covering for injury, but it's a separate thing. So I'd say the endurance is not a huge deal because he's mostly coming off the bench. I'd say the crossing doesn't really matter that much because he doesn't really drift wide that much, but the long shots does matter. That's the thing that matters the most. I think we'll just go with this one because it's got the long shots and the crossing, which doesn't really matter. This one's got the agility, which definitely helps a bit. This one loses the... So this one's effectively got... It's basically, we're saying it's an agility and an endurance versus a crossing and a long shots. And I think it's just the crossing and the long shots. It's an interesting thing because I think the long shots is easily the most important one of those four attributes, and the crossing is easily the least important of those four attributes. And then the agility and the endurance are in the middle. But I think with the long shots, we just want that. In particular, I think I might have like recency bias or something, but he had a lot of long shots in our last couple matches. So it's just an easy choice. Pina, 2 flare and a dip composure. I think we'll go with this one. This one. Yeah, I think it's just this one. Long shots don't matter at all. Strength does matter. Work rate not so much. Dribbling a bit. The dribbling actually is odd because the dribbling with the left back, the dribbling becomes more important if he's playing left back. So it's interesting. We don't use a left back in our tactic, but just having that tactical flexibility to potentially be able to do that in matches is just generally useful. Having any kind of tactical flexibility to do various different things is always potentially useful. May not get used that often, but how many matches does it have to? How many times do you have to in a season change him to left back, and that sort of wins you a match that you otherwise wouldn't have won in order for that to be worth it? And the answer is possibly just once. So and it's certainly there is a possibility that it's something that even if you're not using that in your tactic or whatever, that you might you could use it once and it could make a difference, or even more than once, I imagine. So right. So that's that. Pretty straightforward day. The daily loop's getting pretty straightforward at this point. Generally, it's weird because I sort of think that, but it's just quite often in the trialists. I think that the issue with the trialists at the moment is that it's been a few days now. We haven't sort of had an attribute come up for any of these 6 players that just strikes them out, basically. And normally that would have happened. So Normally, we'd be in a position where we would actively be wanting to move one of these 6 out, and then would have to be choosing a player from these, even though we weren't particularly, you know, it would have been an interesting choice if we had have chosen one of these. I'm not sure who we would have chosen, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, not sure we have to do that exercise now that we don't have to choose them. But yeah, so that's that. Thanks for watching this week. I'm going to play the senior matches now. Cheers.